This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
Hey there, it's Michelle, and I want to help you to live an epic story lifestyle. So, I'd like for you to do me a favor. Go over to epicstorylifestyle.com/live life to grab a free copy of my Hacks for Living an Epic Story Lifestyle checklist. Thanks.
52. 52. 52 weeks in a row, Michelle. Did you think we'd make it?
No.
Me either.
Oh my gosh. I guess we can talk about that online. I mean, on the thing, and I'll just adjust accordingly.
We have to. Come on. It's not like, we haven't missed a day. We have been showing up. And look, I had my doubts in the beginning. I'm like, is this Michelle for real? But you have made a commitment, and I'm going to tell you on the air that I'm impressed. 52 weeks in a row without missing. Talk about someone who cares about their listeners. I'm impressed with your work ethic, Michelle.
Thank you. Making me all blush.
So what do you have for us on our year anniversary?
Oh, I am going to be talking about something really cool. It's actually called Useful is the New Cool. And I'm really excited about it because I get to nerd out a little bit. Okay.
All right.
All right. So I am the product of my family, and my family is really big about these sayings and, these life statements and stuff. And one of the things that I'd like to say to myself, to my students, to whoever actually listen to me, to be honest with you, I always say, be useful, not helpful. And what I mean by that is people pay for useful. Everybody will give helpful. So, for instance, if you're helpful is picking up something that somebody drops on the floor. Helpful is even giving someone some unsolicited advice, right? Useful, on the other hand, is showing the person where the smart cart is to put all that crap they have at the airport. And Smart Card charges them, the fee to do that because it's useful, right? Being useful is being clever, ingenious, or saving people time, money, or a learning curve to do something. And in our today's society, useful is the new cool. So it's not just good enough for us to have things that are nice to have. No. Things that we possess or reasons we do stuff is because they have to, it's kind of like they have to qualify. And I don't want to date this training we're doing, but there are some summer Olympic Games, starting and everything, and are going on. And people have had to pre-qualify to get into these games. Well, to me, useful is now the pre-qualifier to get on the big global stage of people actually paying attention to you or getting what you have, or even, I hate to say it, being around you. So let me give you a story. It is not I don't want to say it's not a pretty one, but it is a true one. I had this acquaintance that every time they called, I cringed. Now, they were one of the most sweet-tempered, even-tempered people I knew. They never, ever were mean or catty or any of that kind of stuff. And yet, I cringed when I saw them on the caller ID. And the reason why is because I knew that when I picked up that phone, it was going to be useful to them, Meaning they were going to either ask me how to do something, how to fix something, what would I do? Let me run this by you and all of that. But then on the other hand, they were going to do one of three things: be extremely boring, give me unsolicited advice for stuff that didn't really help me at all. It wasn't even helpful. Or have me entertain them. Now, this is the biggest one that really just itched my butt. Have me entertain them on their commute. Have you had those types of friends?
Of course. Who hasn't?
Okay, so you know, I almost said the struggle is real, but but so you know what I'm talking about. So that person is no longer in that category because they weren't useful. And it sounds harsh, but it is the truth. Think about the people that you really like to spend time around, that it's a joy to be around them. I'd be willing to bet you in some capacity they are extremely useful. Even if they're just useful, and I don't want to use that word, that qualifier just, even if they're useful in helping you to have a great time and relax, that's usefulness. But what about on that same vein, you have people that want to be around you and it feels like work because either you're having to work to entertain them or they're droning on about stuff that has absolutely no value or use to you. And so that is why I'm talking about this. Useful is the new cool. So for you guys listening out there, if you want to have friends, influence, if you want to be seen as a go-to person, become useful. Now, this is one of the things that I really wanted to get at the heart of this. And now that I've done with my story, I have been looking at the different social media platforms that have taken off and gained traction and continue to stay up there. And those being at this particular time, continuing to be Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. Now, of course, there are some more, but these are the ones that are really getting up there, right?
Yeah.
Now, Snapchat. I will tell you, I am kind of like a new entrant into it, so I don't think I'm even qualified as being early adopter. I think I might be early conformer to it. But I have found that Snapchat has become very useful to me. Do you know why?
Why?
Now, don't laugh and don't judge me, JR.
I'm waiting.
Snapchat has become my own personal free glamour shots. I'm telling you, I can go on Snapchat and I can look like something the horse is trampled. And baby, once I click that filter, that beauty filter, it makes me look like I am ready to walk the red carpet. I'm serious. Those filters, they have magic in them. I believe little Keebler elves are back there helping them with those filters because it makes my eyes sparkle. It evens out my skin. It even, no joke, one of the filters even puts eyeshadow on me. It's a beautiful thing.
It puts it on me too. It looks weird though.
but for me, that's very useful, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people see Snapchat as very useful. Now, get this. Again, don't judge me. I've never sent a snap, whatever you want to call them. I've never sent one, but I am all about their filters. Because it is very useful. Same thing with Instagram. Instagram, I could take a picture and it looks like a toddler that was given beer to go to sleep took it. But once I get in there and put those filters on that picture, oh my gosh, today, Norman Rockwell, Ansel Adams ain't got nothing on me. I took a picture of the lake by one of the walking trails I do. And you would have sworn somebody in a gallery took this picture. And it was me while I was running from the geese that were at my feet. And the picture just looked totally beautiful. So, I mean, you see how useful this stuff is? And we wonder why they have longevity and why people are attracted to them. It is because they're so useful. You know, for me, Twitter is useful for seeing how many foibles and mishaps people can make. If you ever want to guarantee that you will see how imperfect you are, send out a tweet. They currently, and the sad part is Twitter has its own economy of value. And they even call it the Twitterverse. Did you know that?
Yeah, heard it.
It's called the Twitterverse. And so when the Twitterverse weighs in on whether you're an idiot or not, it's usually that you're an idiot. But,
Yeah.
but once they weigh in, it becomes useful because it makes people aware of usually people's thoughts, beliefs, and grasp of grammar. So it is just totally wild, all the stuff that happens around these social media platforms. And we have to realize that we are always taking a lesson from this. So I get some of my followers and stuff, they say, well, how do I become more prolific? How do I build my platform and all of this? And I tell them, be useful. Be useful. And so being useful as the new cool means that you become, are you ready for this?
Yes.
You become so great. And I say the word great on purpose because you don't want to be mediocre. You become so great at offering immediately usable information, techniques, or things, whether they be products or whatever, to the masses where they can immediately use them, that you become a go-to source. On Facebook, I have started to see, and they've probably been out for a while, but I have started to see Facebook curators. And what I mean is they scour Facebook looking for videos and sayings and pictures that are thematic. And it's not on their fan page, it's directly on their feeds. They tend to have feeds and then they'll put them on a page. But if you follow that person, whenever they post, it's going to be something that's useful. Now, believe it or not, one of the biggest areas of usefulness, what would you think it is?
I'm not sure.
I would say, most people would say technology or efficiency tips and that kind of stuff, right?
Okay.
Wrong. One of the biggest areas of usefulness in our society today is humor. People find you very useful when you can deliver them a great laugh because it releases tension and stress and helps them to reset. So people view people that give them funny stuff as being useful. Thus, they tend to follow them and they think they're cool. Think about going back to these people who curate these videos and stuff. Think about when you go to, I can't say that one because it has a bad word in it. It's about I love science, but it has a F word in it. People go there because stuff is so intriguing and interesting, quote unquote, and useful. But then you have these others that do nothing but show you funny videos. Like, for instance, someone sent me one just yesterday, and I'll try to set it up. And it simply said, how you act when you look at a picture of your old self. And it was a picture of the most adorable, plump little toddler. She picks up, one of the little toddler books that are puffy and everything. And she picks it up, she opens it up, she throws her head back and she falls back and starts crying. I laughed, I know, for a good 30 seconds to a minute off of that. And it just really helped me. So much so that I looked at who had this, and believe it or not, it was one of those Facebook curated sites. I clicked on it and I must have watched 10 videos back to back on their site that all did the same thing. So guess what my natural tendency was to do? Follow that person, because now in my eyes they are useful for what? A good laugh. So you guys, if you want to be epic in your storied lifestyle, you need to find a way to be your natural self that's useful. Are you funny? Are you brilliant? Are you a person that thinks of clever, ingenious ways to do something better? Like I do follow one of those curated sites. The tip of the day yesterday, because yesterday was the day that I spent time looking socially. Do you know, and don't laugh at me, JR, do you know you can turn your cupcake pans? I don't know if you guys have them. I don't know if Rachel makes cupcakes or not. But, okay, the cupcake tin that you put cupcakes in, you can turn it over. And when you want to make tacos at home for Taco Tuesday, you just put the tacos in the grooves between the cupcake molds, and it holds the tacos up.
Oh, neat! Never thought
Isn't
of that.
that neat?
Yeah.
I mean, either. So that person is very useful to me because I learned tips like when I don't want my lettuce to go bad. I learned this from them as well. All I do is as soon as I get it home, I put it in a container and I put a paper towel on top of it, and the paper towel draws out all that extra moisture that makes it go bad faster. Simple stuff like that. Oh, another one. Now I'm on a roll. I know I shouldn't be talking about this on my podcast, but you just got to listen to one more. I love frozen yogurt, and I buy it, but when I put it in my freezer, it gets hard as a rock. I learned from them that if I take it, I don't have to open it up or anything, but if I take it and put it in a Ziploc, close the Ziploc up and put it in the freezer, it remains the same consistency as it was when I got it from the grocery store. And it actually works. So those are kinds of things that are useful. Now, the kind of stuff I've told you, wouldn't you say that is cool?
Yeah.
So, useful is the new cool, people.
Point proven.
Exactly. So now I have a muse moment today. All right. And my muse moment is really simple. My muse moment is before you attempt to be liked, first attempt to understand people and to be, you guessed it, useful to them. So how do you do that? I'm glad you asked. What you do is you look for things that naturally occur to you, and that's one of the things that people mess up on. They try to be other people, and they don't realize that everybody has a useful talent. I want to call it your useful superpower, and use that to help people be better. So for you, JR, I will tell you, you are extremely useful to me because you help to corral all of my rambunctious thoughts into a streamlined approach that makes so much sense.
Nice.
And on top of that, you listen.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive. Do you know I never have to repeat myself? You never say, I'm sorry, but what were you saying? You've never said that to
well,
me.
actually, when you're using those big nerd words, I have to ask you a couple times.
But you know what I mean. You pay attention. And so, not that I'm picking on JR trying to, put him out there, but you guys, it is so easy to become useful. And I find so many people now are friendless and, want to kick rocks. And one of the simplest things is become useful. Don't just be helpful. Don't offer your unsolicited advice. Be useful. There is this book called Contagious. Have you read it? It's got a yellow cover, and it's called Contagious. And this guy lists that as one of the fastest ways for people to become influential and to start viral movements. Now, he doesn't say be useful, but what he does say is when you share something socially, make it where you help the person that you've shared it with become elevated in the eyes of people that they share it with, meaning that they want to share it because either they'll look smarter, they'll look hipper or cooler because it's funny, or they'll look studious, industrious, and smart because it makes people socially or consciously aware of something. That is a low-hanging fruit way of how you can immediately start to be useful. Now, disclaimer. Do your due diligence because there are a lot of scams and clickbait out there that poses this stuff, and you don't want to be sharing stuff that is a hoax or anything. But other than that, go on and share fun stuff that makes your friends look cool because now you shared it with them. So, guess what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for me to talk about me.
All right.
So, one of the things that I have noticed of recent is that because I do so much research, my friends and family and and loved ones tend to know that I'm going to have my geeky nerd moments. And it was the cutest thing because one of my family members came to me and they were like, oh my God, I hate science so much. And I just really want to peel layers of my skin off my face when I have to go to this mandatory science class. And they're in college. And so this is what they said. They were like, can you please tell me one of your fun stories? Like, those stupid they said stupid. One of those stupid documentaries you watch. Can you put it in Michelle terms? And so I laughed because they were taking like a biology kind of earth sciences or something like that. And so I told them about this documentary called Dirt. And yes, there is a real documentary called Dirt. I told them about it, and the way I told them about it, they were so excited, and they were like, see, I can always count on you to take the most nerdy, boring stuff and make it exciting. I mean, but seriously, you guys, look for that documentary. It is called Dirt. It is so freaking cool. You will just be amazed, and you will never, ever, ever look at dirt again the same way if you do. So, but anyway, what I am learning is that I do tend to have a knack for taking things that the average person would think is boring or even esoteric and helping people to see something entertaining about it. And so with that being said, I think that's why people are still listening to Epic Story Lifestyle, because that's hopefully what I'm doing and I'm being useful. So thank you guys. And I just want to say that because this is our inaugural 1-year program, I am beyond humbled. I am beyond thankful. And I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for enduring my kooky, crazy stories and the stuff that I find fascinating, that you listen to it. And I just want to send hugs and kisses out to all of you guys. And I pray that I am continuously being useful and therefore cool. So that's what I wanted to say today. JR.
Awesome. So what sort of usefulness do you have in store for us next time, Michelle?
Well, next time, to kick off this whole new year, I want to go highbrow. You see how I set that up so that people will tune back in? I'm going to go geeky. I'm going to be talking about quantum theoretical physics for the win.
That's one of those she had to repeat 10 times to me. So I'm looking forward.
I'm so excited.
Nerd Talk on the next Epic Story Lifestyle. We'll see you guys next week.
Yay. Hey, Michelle here again. If you like today's show, remember to go to iTunes and in the search bar, type Epic Story Lifestyle. And when you see me, hit that subscribe button. If you really like today's show, hey, come on, do me a solid by giving a rating and a review. If you've got questions, comments, or even show topics you'd like to hear me cover in the future, tell me about them when you leave that wonderful review. All right, my time is up and I thank you for yours. See you next time. Now go out, make some great decisions that give you that epic story lifestyle.
This is the podcastfactory.com.